Okay, we're going to we're still solving quadratic equations, and we already know that we can solve quadratic equations by graphing, we can solve by completing the square, we can solve by factoring, and so now we're going to solve by using the quadratic formula. Um, and by now we already know that the quadratic formula is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So the first thing we have to do is make sure that this is set equal to 0. So I need to subtract 11 from both sides to get x squared minus 10x minus 11 equals 0. So just in case we've forgotten, our a is the number in front of the x squared, so my a is 1. My b is the number in front of the x, so my b is negative 10. And my c is just the constant without any x's, so that's negative 11. So now I'm going to take those numbers and plug it into the quadratic formula. So x equals negative b, and my b is negative 10, so I have negative 10 plus or minus the square root of b squared, so negative 10 squared, minus 4 times a, and a is 1, and c is negative 11, all over 2 times a, which is 1. Now we're going to simplify. Negative times negative is positive 10 plus or minus. Negative 10 squared is positive 100. I have negative 4 times 2 times negative 11. So negative times negative is positive. That's going to be 8. 8 times 11, that's 88. All over 2. Okay. So now we are going to, I'm seeing if I messed up somewhere. Oh, I thought that was a 2. That's a 1 right there. I knew that didn't look like. So that's going to be, instead of 4 times 1 times 11, that's going to be 44. Sorry. Okay, so 44. Now we're going to simplify that. 10 plus or minus 144 over 2. So 10 plus or minus, the square root of 144 is 12, because 12 times 12 is 144 over 2. So now I'm going to have two answers. My two answers will be x equals 10 plus 12 over 2, and then x equals 10 minus 12 over 2. So this is going to be 22 over 2, or 11. This is going to be negative 2 over 2, or negative 1. So negative 1 and 11 would be my two answers for that. And we could check it if we wanted to. Okay, example 2. Use the quadratic formula to solve. So it's already set equal to 0, so it's already in standard form. My a is 1, my b is 8, my c is 26. So I'm going to take these numbers and plug it in. And I'll just write it up here, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So negative b, so negative 8 plus or minus b squared, so 8 squared minus 4 times a times 26 all over 2 times 1. And this x equals. So now x equals negative 8 plus or minus 8 squared is 64. 26 times 4. So 26 times 4, 26 times 4, that's 104, all over 2. So x is equal negative 8 plus or minus. So 104 minus 64, so that's going to be negative 40 over 2. Now, here's the deal. Negative 40, first of all, I have a negative underneath the square root, so I know that that's going to be an imaginary number. Okay? Um, so what I usually do, negative 8 plus or minus, that's going to be I, and now that 40 is a positive now. If you'll just go ahead and bring out your I, because I know it's going to be a negative square root, and now I can simplify the 40. So 40 is 10 times 4, and 4 is a perfect square, so I can actually rewrite the square root of 40 as 2 times the square root of 10, because 4 is that perfect square, so I'm bringing that 2 out. So I'm going to rewrite this as negative 8 plus or minus. Instead of writing square root of 40, I'm going to write 2i, because my I is already there, square root of 10 over 2. And now I can only simplify on the outside if every single one of these can be simplified. Okay, so this 2 can be simplified with this 8 and this 2. You can never simplify with the 10 underneath the radical. So this will simplify to negative 4 plus or minus I times the square root of 10. And that's your answer. Example 3, same thing. My A is 2, my B is 6, my C is negative 7. Okay, so negative b. So negative 6 plus or minus the square root, b squared, so 6 squared, minus 4 times 2 times negative 7, because that's my 4ac, all over 2a. And x equals that. So x equals negative 6 plus or minus 6 squared is 36. 4 times 2 times 7. That's going to be 56, and it's a positive 56. I don't know why I wrote 2a there. That should be 2 times 2, which is 4. So simplifying, negative 6 plus or minus 36 plus 56. So that's going to be, what, 92? So the square root of 92 over 4. And now we get to see if 92 will simplify. All right, so I know, I don't know what I always do. 2 will go into it because it's even 46 times. And then 46 will break down. 46 divided by 2 is 23. So that's good. This is a prime number. I have a group of 2's that I can take out. So square root of 92 can be rewritten as 2 times the square root of 23, because whatever's left, that's what stays underneath the radical. So this is negative 6 plus or minus 2 times the square root of 23 all over 4. And now I have a 6, a 2, and a 4. So all of these can be simplified by 2. So my 6 becomes a 3. My 2 becomes a 1. I don't have to write that 1. And my 4 becomes a 2. And that's your answer. And then the last one. Okay, first of all on this one, I have to set it equal to 0. So I'm going to add 10 to both sides. So my A is 1, my B is negative 6, my C is 10. So I have x is equal to negative b, so negative negative 6, so negative b, plus or minus the square root, b squared minus 4 times a times c, all over 2 times a. So x equals negative times negative is a positive 6, plus or minus negative 6 quantity squared is 36 minus 40 all over 2. So 6 plus or minus 36 minus 40 is negative 4 all over 2. We know that we can't have a negative underneath the radical, so to fix that, I can bring that I out and just have a 4 left. And now I'm going to take the square root of 4. The square root of 4 is 2. We usually write that 2 before the I. So now I can reduce everything by 2. So my answer is 3 plus or minus 2 divided by 2 is just 1I or I.